What is up, family? It's Johnny here, the military CEO from JohnnyLynham.com. And today we're going to be reviewing a video from my man. That's right, Grant Cardone. I forgot who it was sent it to me, but they asked me about what did I think about this video. So we're going to watch the video real quick and then really and go through and chop it up. And I would love to get your feedback and hear your comments in the chat.
I wouldn't go to college. I would never buy a home. If I bought a home, I wouldn't put debt on it. These are nevers for me on the come up. If you're wealthy and you want to go buy homes and buy yachts, we'll do whatever you want to do. But on the come up, you would never spend primary income on improving the quality of your life. You would only invest. Let's say you could live on $4,000. Anything you make above $4,000, you should invest 100% of that money. And you should invest in things to get your tax write-offs.
What are the main things to get tax?
So kind of going in and really diving into what Grant's saying. And this has always been one of the paradoxes that we always kind of have. And we look at it and go through and try to understand real estate. Is it an asset? Is it a liability? You're living in it or you're renting it out? And so over the years, house hacking has really become a more mainstream with people renting rooms out. You have Airbnb, Verbo that's out there, just different split pad, just opportunities where you can make income by the individual room, by your basement. I know someone that told me, this was last year. They lived in San Diego. They rented their pool out and made $14,000 just leasing out their pool, which is generating income. So the old mindset of just living in a house and not being able to generate income where it's completely a liability is, I say, a misnomer, because it is the number one way most people build wealth. Think about it. Think about baby boomers who bought properties in Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s and still own those properties. You think that was a good investment? Heck yeah, it was a good investment. And so that's the thing that you have to realize is you got to understand what works best for you and your situation and resources. Yeah, it's a liability, but if you go buy a foreclosure, like I bought a house to live in that was a foreclosure a little less than 4 years ago. And yeah, I'm living in it, but it was a foreclosure. I knew I had equity from day one. The market's been insane, and it's produced over 400,000 in equity. I was able to go get a HELOC, tap into over 130K to buy in other investments and fund my other businesses and everything. So it's an asset. It's all about how you strategize and how you plan to use the asset and make it at your disposal. And oh, by the way, I got over a $700,000 house at a 2.65 interest rate. That is an asset. And because I know how money works. I know how the velocity of money works. So the thing is, it's not an asset, but when especially with us as veterans moving around military, if you're PCS, you can rent it out. And there's other opportunities where it transitions over into investment. And so you got to be thinking with the end in mind. And so if you're doing that, it's okay to live in it 2-3 years if you have a plan. Or with the VA loan or FHA, where you only have to live in the property for 1 year, then you can move out and turn it into a rental property. So there's options out there with that. I agree with them 100%. Like real estate gives you the tax write-offs, it gives you all the benefits, and you got to have a different mindset when you're starting to build with, especially if you start with nothing, like where I came from. If you're starting with nothing or starting with negative, starting below zero, like you got to move different. You got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. You got to be putting income back. You can't be out here BSing and buying cars and making it rain in the club and wasting money and stuff, all the kind of stuff that I used to do when I was young and dumb. Even I would have bought an '06 Corvette, in 2010, kept it 2 years, but I sold it. Guess what? To go buy a foreclosure with my VA loan in order to have my DTI, my debt to income ratio in tolerance where I can get the loan closed. So you just got to make moves and leverage assets. Buying a home for most Americans is the largest purchase and it's the largest asset they're ever owned. So I'm going to say it's an asset because you got to know how to position it properly. Let's keep watching.
Right off. Real estate is the Mac Daddy. I'm his money. So I wouldn't go to college. I would never buy a home. If I bought a home, I wouldn't put debt on it. These are nevers for me on the come up. If you're wealthy and you want to go buy homes and buy yachts, we'll do whatever you want to do. But on the come up, you would never spend primary income on improving the quality of your life. You would only invest. Let's say you could live on $4,000. Anything you make above $4,000, you should invest 100% of that money. And you should invest in things to get your tax write-offs.
What are the main things to get tax write-off?
Real estate.
Yeah, so overall, it's a good video. I'm with Grant. You should be looking to invest in your discretionary income. Any money that you have left over, you need to be putting that money into investments, real estate, index funds. So you really have to look at those things. But when he says time is money, time is infinitely more important than money. Because I would tell you one thing, after being around more and more millionaires, the rooms that I'm in now, that people buy time. People think about a business, like people pay employees to do stuff to buy their time. Like whether you know it or not, your employee, they're buying your time. A lot of people, it's education, it's going to college to get skills. A lot of basket weave and history, a lot of degrees are no longer worth the payment or the investment of what you have to pay now in order to get a degree, because the return of investment is so low. But if you're being an engineer, a doctor, lawyer, those type of skill sets that you have to go to school formally and get trained. But there are a lot of opportunities out here for technical trades, where you can become a business owner and things like that, where you have to think outside the box. 4-year college is not for everyone. I would argue that most people, if you're going to college, you should go to a 2-year school and then transfer to a 4-year college. And the thing is, like, you got to find what works best for you. Once again, we get back to it. It all depends on what you need and what resources do you have at your disposal where you can set yourself up for long-term success. So I rock with Grant. I think this is a great video, but time is more important than money. You can't get time back. We can't get yesterday back. And, you think about it. If you had $1 million and somebody said, hey, we got a cure and you'll live another 20, 30 years, but it cost $1 million, you would hand that $1 million over versus saying, hey, yep, you're going to have to check out of here tomorrow. Because you already know time is more valuable than $1 million, because guess what? If you have the right skill set, you can go make that $1 million back and some. And so that's what people don't realize. Time is infinitely more important than money. And that's what I love about, being able to tap into books and tap into mastermind groups where you're around other high level individuals that's doing great things, that have a lot of experience, because you can learn from their 20, 30, 40 years of experience in such a small amount of time. And you can take that and accelerate your own journey. And that's true wisdom. And so that's why I say time is infinitely more important than money, because money can't buy that wisdom. Money can't get you those things to get time back. And so the more that you focus on your time and being a great steward of your time today, the better off you're going to be long term. And for those that are ready to take action, they want to build out their financial plan, they really want to get a commanding grasp of their finances and look at how they can integrate real estate, whether an active real estate investor, a passive real estate investor, or you're looking to pick up more single family rentals, or are you looking to get into the apartment investing space, then definitely reach out, book your consultation call. I would love to have a conversation with you, with either myself or with Coach Jessica, where we can sit down with you, understand your goals, and share how we can help you get to that next level. So definitely book your one-on-one consultation call at johnnylynham.com/consultation.